Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines. The XRP ETFs are the talk of the town. But where are we going from here? Well, somebody roll that beautiful intro so we can find out.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com for exclusive content. $3.33 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off 0.2%. Bitcoin 95,600 plus, Ethereum 3,100 plus, XRP's $2.24. We're off 0.8 on the 24 and off 1.1 on the 7-day, where Ethereum and Bitcoin are off 6+% on the 7-day. Looking at the range of price for XRP, 222 to 229. That range is tightening up a little bit here. We will look at a quick piece of TA before we get out of here, but more importantly, there's a lot of fundamental news we need to get a hold of. And one of the reminders I want to share with you right now is this right here from Dom Kwok from Easy A. Shout out to him and Phil. And by the way, happy birthday to Dom. He had a birthday just a day or two ago here, and he said headlining XRP Las Vegas was one of the highlights of 2025 for Phil and himself. And he says, we couldn't be more excited to be back again next year, bigger and better than ever. See you there, folks. And you know what? It will be bigger and better than ever because they're going to be headlining again, and we've got something in store for you. Oh, my gracious. You're going to want to see the ideas these builders have because I was blown away last year by the smart, brilliant minds of the people that are building things every day in this ecosystem. It is absolutely, it is, I am in awe of the brilliant minds that are building these new ideas. And some of them are going to be the next Googles and Facebooks and so on. And it gets me so excited. So it is a privilege and an honor to have Phil and Dom and Easy A be a part of it and all the incredible builders. Make sure you get your tickets at xrplasvegas.com. Don't mess around. It is going to be an epic year. No question about it. And here real quick, a lot of hacks going around, ladies and gentlemen. And I get messages very often. Where do I go? I hear you talk about things all the time. Well, this is one of them. It's Caleb and Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Prime broker with free institutional grade custody, multiple layers of security. Talk to a prime broker 24/7, 365. You can't find it anywhere else in the space. Click the link underneath the video or go to xrpwealth589.com and open your free account today. You're going to love the experience. And you're going to start getting the best night's sleep since you've been in crypto. SEC signals faster crypto ETF paths. Analysts highlight XRP ETFs next. Now, we know that the SEC has shortened that time, so we don't have that 240 days or whatever it was waiting period. That is gone now. And now that Canary Capital has come out of the gate with the first spot XRP ETF. It is very exciting to know that there's so many others waiting in the wings. So let's take a look at this reminder that we shared from everybody, courtesy of Baron of Beach Street. Shout out to my brother who's the legend. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF first day got crushed by Canary Capital's XRP ETF first day by more than double the size of inflows. Hello. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, IBIT, had 111.7 million. Canary Capital's XRP ETF had 245 million. You know who forgot to tell you? James Seifert, Bloomberg analyst, said XRP was a shitcoin on stage at Bitcoin, right? At Bitcoin conference. Now, did he not tell us because he didn't know, or did he not tell us because he's a Bitcoin maxi at a Bloomberg desk? I don't know the answer. Maybe James could help share it with us all. That would be appreciative. Then we see this, obviously smashing numbers here. Combining day one and day two, you see all of the numbers here. What we end up with a total is a total market value of 275 million plus for Canary Capital coming out of the gate. What do you think the other ETF companies are looking like right now, right? They're salivating. right? Like a tiger, like a lion in the jungle. I mean, they are just like, let me out of here. I am ready to go. Analysts say Canary Capital, by the way, since they've had such a successful jump out of the gate, could buy $250 million worth of XRP tomorrow, too, knowing we've got over $250,000 in just the 2 days that it launched. So the question now remains, how much will they buy on Monday morning tomorrow, right? And then here we know Grayscale defines XRP as real world utility very quick. Grayscale is also filed for an IPO, right? And they're very soon to be out of the gate. I think it's this week. But nonetheless, in classifying how they size up the different tokens like Bitcoin, they say Bitcoin in the physical world, Ethereum building the future today, Solana, they say crypto's financial bazaar brought to life, XRP real world utility made tangible. ADAs were called flexible, scalable, now solid, they say. Aha. The XRP installation showcases the asset's logo prominently displayed in New York City, as you could see right there, right? Symbolizing real world relevance amid institutional adoption. And isn't that the interesting part to this? Do we believe that this is all just retail crowd buying these ETFs? Or are we not aware just yet because it's so new that institutions are taking very deep positions in this and will continue to do so? We will watch it to find out. One thing is for sure, institutions do like it. 9 XRP ETFs to launch in 10 days. Franklin Templeton leads next week's rollout. And you know, I'm telling you, you know they're chomping at the bit. You got Franklin Templeton coming on the 18th, just 2 days from now. And then 2 days more will be Bitwise, 21 shares and coin shares on the 21st and 22nd. Grayscale Wisdom Tree follow that, and Final Wave arrives November 25th with those two, and they are all super excited. You can bet on it. And look, and Grayscale's going public on top of it all. According to on-chain metrics provider Coin Bureau, XRP has witnessed a dramatic outflow from centralized exchanges with over 149 million XRP valued at approximately $336 million, leaving trading platforms in just 24 hours. And we know that the market's not up, so you wouldn't reasonably think to yourself that this is because of people taking profits, right? That's not what people are doing in a market that looks like this currently. But we do know that Stephen McClurg explained in-kind transfers. You have to wonder how much of this went over from their XRP into exposure to like a Canary Capital ETF. He said there was a great amount of that, and that doesn't reflect in trading volume. So, you know, I don't know exactly what's going on here, but I do know I find it very encouraging because there's a lot about to unfold, and it's not just the ETFs, ladies and gentlemen. It is not just the ETFs. Now, with that being said, this article does highlight not only the ETF demand recently from Canary Capital, but it also highlights too the demand for institutions. And they talk about Ripple's interledger protocol, the ILP, and the patents cement its unmatched position in crypto, but not just crypto, but in the financial infrastructure that also involves crypto. And if we go into Smoke Dog's post here, this is where I believe the game gets really interesting long term, because you know that ILP gives the ability for the network to talk to any particular protocol, whether it is a legacy protocol or whether it's a distributed ledger or blockchain protocol. That's the flexibility about this. And it goes through here and explains as an example. Not only can it talk to crypto networks, right? But with the help and transaction and verification process of RippleNet, the most interesting aspects regarding the ILP is that we will seamlessly manage payments when the sender's currency is different from the receiver's currency, or when the sender's payment network is different from the receiver's payment network. You can see how quickly this gets really messy, but they've got it all figured out with RippleNet, the ILP, and the ledger, right? You take an example of a payment issued on fiat currency network using MasterCard, Visa, or wire transfer, and the receiver receives it on an account, also known as a wallet, created within the payment system using a cryptocurrency. Remember, Ripple just bought Palisade to give everybody a wallet, too. The Interledger Protocol, ILP, offers a means to bridge the cryptocurrencies and fiat to enable interoperable and fast value exchange. They rely on plug-in for settlement over a digital asset ledger like XRP or Bitcoin, as they cite there. But you can go on and see that banks and other financial institutions can now carry out international transactions more quickly and affordable thanks to Ripple's XRP patented RippleNet. By securing a patent for its technology, Ripple guarantees a sole authority over its inventive payment system, prohibiting rivals from unauthorized use of comparable blockchains. Now, that is something that a financial system would look at and go, yeah, that I'll use, right? That's something I'll use. And we know that they are. And in order to use it, we're reminded here, once again, by the one and only Cowboy Crypto. Nothing to see here, just a list of licenses Ripple has acquired, right? Look at them all. Look at it. Look at all the licenses they've acquired. Rail Financial, then they got Standard Custody and Trust Company, Trust Company. They got license all over the world. And you could see that this, yes, and that's a perfect little meme from Riz right there. It's like a big whale just eating up all the fish, right? That's the biggest thing at this point for me is how long can I live in this space while I watch this massive adoption? They didn't get all these licenses so they couldn't use them, right? Now we need that market infrastructure bill so all these licenses become extremely powerful in using them. Isn't it such? Isn't it? And how about this? At the same time that we're watching a week of rollout, a week or two of rollout leading up to Thanksgiving of ETF after ETF, and there's more to come even after that. Rising XRP institutional activity shapes Evernorth's SEC filing as tokenized finance expands. See, we can't forget that not only these ETFs are gobbling up everything off the market, but so will Evernorth. And they've already got $1 billion worth of XRP raised. And they're going to continue to buy XRP. And where are they going to buy it, Bradley? They're going to buy net proceeds will primarily fund open market purchases of XRP to build the world's leading institutional XRP treasury. They're going to buy it off Coinbase, Uphold, Caleb and Brown, and everywhere else that you and I get it until it's no longer available because the only people that won't sell it are the stubborn people that are left like you and me. Isn't that what we're seeing here? But now the Evernorth will be competing as a treasury with all the ETFs that are rolling out. So now you have two different entities with upward demand. Then you have the automated market makers where people will lock up their own XRP in order to make a market themselves. All of these things take XRP off the market and lock it up. Now, Evernorth's treasury will use it, but they're taking it for themselves and their clients that they will have, which I'm getting a very strong feeling may be all of the partners on RippleNet. Yeah. And if that turns out to be true, and the ETF demand continues to explode, and of course we don't have a BlackRock ETF, but imagine the day that they do, why wouldn't they? Right? I keep thinking of Charles Gasparino asking CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, "No, you can tell me. Come on." He says, "No, I can't tell you." And then he tells Charles, "You won't like the answer, right?" Because he doesn't like any of us, right? But the reality is Chaz has a very small mind. He doesn't understand a lot, right? Nonetheless, we understand a lot. And what we understand is that there is so much good news in front of us, and we have waited so long to see things like the ETFs begin to roll out. And this week and next week are going to be very big weeks for all of us, just because of the ETFs rolling out. And I don't mean to suggest that there's something that's going to happen that you're not aware of. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the moment's here. How long have we been waiting for ETFs to be approved and be rolled out? How many years have you been in this space and watched Bitcoin and Ethereum get favor after favor and free pass after free pass, right? Well, now it's our turn. And it's the rest of the market's turn, honestly. And as it should be. We are slowly grinding our way to an open free market, right? Boy, I can't wait for us to get there. And I can't wait to see just how hard Evernorth starts to buy primarily on the open market purchases of XRP and begin to compete with all of us for what's left as a liquid float on the retail market. That is the plan. And let's be real for a minute, Chad Steingraber says. There are two options. One, XRP stays the same as today, and the ETFs take the entire circulating supply in exactly 1 year. Or the XRP price goes up dramatically and the acquisition of XRP goes down because it takes more money to buy less. Either way, we win. Checkmate. I think that is a beautiful, beautiful point that Chad is making right there. And that's a boat I'm glad I'm sitting in, to be perfectly honest with you. That's not financial advice. Now let's take a look at what has happened in 2017 and 2021. And we can't help but wonder, what will the result be here in 2025?
We just had a death cross on XRP's daily time frame, but this is actually bullish and not bearish, because in 2017 it marked the exact low of that specific bear market and XRP exploded. Also in 2020, the death cross marked the exact low of that bear market and XRP exploded. And right now, once again, guys, we are seeing the death cross, so XRP is most likely about to go much higher.
And we just don't know how high, if it does actually go higher. It's not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I couldn't be more excited about the moment that I'm in. I hope you are too. I'll catch all of you on the next one.